Hello everyone. It's 11:13 p.m. I was trying to start the video. It was 11:12 and they froze my phone. So I've been having moments where I will forget what time I went to bed or forget what time I ate or forget this, forget that. But so I think last night I think I went to bed or fell asleep sometime after 12:30 in the morning. And then I woke up about after 4 o'clock in the morning and had to use the bathroom and couldn't go back to sleep. So I think it was about 8 something. I just I had excuse me. I had a weird breakfast, this morning. I think it was about 8 something. And I had the last of those Danish butter cookies. I don't think I'm going to buy those again. I don't really... That brand or those kind I really don't like. But I used to be crazy over those things. But I hardly ever buy them or eat them that much anymore. But so I had the last bit of the Danish butter cookies. And the last, it was like a handful of cereal. That Life cereal. And I had me some chips, like potato chips. And I had some boiled, the last 3 boiled eggs. I wasn't sure if they were still good. But they passed the test of still being safe to eat and good. So I boiled them and ate the eggs plain. And then I had a big glass of milk. And then I had really nothing to eat for many hours. And then after that, I started to try to work a little bit more on the letter to the Social Security office and trying to work on documentation, gathering documentation that they're narcissistically demanding from me. And so then I don't remember if it was sometime between 12 and 1 o'clock this afternoon that I dozed off and went to sleep. And I may have used the bathroom a time or two. And then after that, I woke up about, I think I remember it was about approximately 4:30 or it was before 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then I don't remember what I did this evening, but but I was sitting here trying to battle against the fleas. So it's Sunday, but I had leftovers for dinner. The same thing I showed y'all yesterday, the vegetable mac and cheese and the barbecue pork tenderloin. The barbecue pork tenderloin. And then I had a half of a symphony bar. Well, they still taste kind of good, and I haven't had those in years. But Cadbury Caramello. I used to like those back then, but I hardly ate them. They're not nearly as popular as the mainstream candy. People don't really talk about symphony bars as much as they talk about Hershey's Kisses. But I have been mostly trying to stay away from candy. But every now and then, I shouldn't eat it, but every now and then I might have, candy bar. There was a point in time I was doing really good with eating no candy bars, but I need to stop eating like chips or cookies or cake or whatever. But so I didn't have a smoothie tonight. And I didn't even take did I? Yes, I did. Did I? I think this morning, I took the Amazing Grass supplement and bentonite clay, but I kind of don't remember if I did or not. But I'm almost out of that jar of bentonite. Not bentonite clay. Almost out of that jar of Amazing Grass, but I have another one. So it's the 6th of the month, and I know I just got paid, but all my bills are paid. All the rent and all the bills are, like, the main bills are taken care of. But now, I thought that the Medicare or Medicaid would pick up for me to pay the hospital bill. So I have currently under $100 left in the bank, but then I have to pay $20-something. They're saying I'm overdue, but I just got the notice, so I gotta pay like $20-something for the hospital bill from May. And I have, like, as far as basic needs, I have just about everything I need temporarily at the moment, because you end up using stuff up, and once they get used, then you have to replenish them. So, but I was supposed to have done laundry today, and I need to do laundry as soon as possible. Because I really think I have fleas. I really think I have fleas from those stray animals outside, and me leaving the towels outside trying to dry the towels, So I got no choice but to do laundry ASAP. So earlier this morning, they had somebody who questioned me on TikTok about why I blocked that Katasha person. And I explained to her, well, she falsely accused me of having a perp cough, and I suffer Tourette's, and I was, not coughing because of being a perp, but I was trying to clear mucus out of my throat because I have a tooth abscess. And she said something about how basically people being easily triggered and traumatized or whatever. And that person, they confronted me and asked me, why'd you block my friend Tasha? But, I don't have nobody to have my back and say, well, why'd you block my friend Candy? But if I say that this person blocked me, then more people block and unfollow me in droves on social media. But if I block somebody, I get confronted. But she's like, oh, well, why you block my friend Tasha? She was trying to, help you with money or whatever. But Tasha, I told y'all, she donated me $10. And then, like a few days or a couple of days later, falsely accused me of having a perp cough. And then she ignored me when I tried to explain myself. And I didn't want her to be spreading a false rumor, lying and saying Candy's a perp. That's the reason why I blocked her. But she didn't say that. She didn't tell her, like, it's like as if that person is trying to make it like, oh, this person was trying to help you. Why you blocked her? Well, after you donated me $10, well, I didn't ask for the help, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. But, you falsely accused me of having a perp cough, and you got a whole lot more influence and bigger and more popular and well-liked in the so-called TI community. So she might have something to do why other professed targets are treating me on TikTok like how they do on Twitter and YouTube, avoiding and staying away from me because you lied on me. But they have somebody accuse her of being a perp and being like masonically connected or something like that. But then they had somebody who I read him wrong and mistakenly thought that he was also another person trying to falsely accuse me of having a perp cough. But then I realized that he was explaining something different. But I mean, ever since I've been consuming the coconut oil more frequently, I still have the mucus and stuff. But I think that my chest and the mucus or whatever is starting to be more clear, not as heavy. And but I still battling with the chip piece part of my tooth that's trying to hurt and trying to fall out. And I'm trying to keep it as strong as possible and trying to keep the infection down as much as possible. Excuse me. But I also apologize or say excuse me whenever I do clear my throat or cough. And I try to do it out of being polite, trying to be polite. But, trying to use manners. But, I have been trying to keep the infection down and trying to battle to get rid of the warts on my hands. And this one is trying to come back with vengeance after I got rid of it. But this one seemed like it's almost gone. This one was much bigger. And then seemed like one is trying to grow on my thumb. Whenever I get rid of one wart in one spot, it'd be another one to try to grow in another spot. And it's frustrating. So, this right here on my nose, I don't know if that's a wart or a miniature keloid scar, or if I don't think it's a mole, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. But it keeps on having like acne pus or whatever. So I took a shower. And they tried to squeeze my organs. I was able to trim my fingernails, but I need to trim my toenails. But I felt traumatized and afraid, you know, after taking a shower. But I feel awkward with having my toenails not trimmed, you know. So my fingernails are trimmed, but I need to trim my toenails. But my toenails are growing thick and they're hard to trim. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought that Katasha person turned against me. But, you know, usually if somebody make like you a perp, they will, whether it's true or not, they will go and tell the whole world that they perceive of you to be a perp. But, you know, they have people who say that they're targeted, and they, you know, they band together with, falsely accuse me of being a perp, and then band together with people who, with the traffickers who are actually perping me, and they join in on a bullying campaign. While you're supposed to be hurting and targeted yourself. So, and I think, I don't remember, but I think Katasha was one of those people that claimed to be targeted. And I thought I remember seeing her throw up satanic hand signs as well. But she claimed to have been, you know, sex trafficked and under MK Ultra. But usually if somebody falsely accuse you of being a perp or call you a perp, then they avoid and stay away from you. But like that Paul guy, you know, as of yesterday, he was wearing red. But this little red compared to your whole red t-shirt that you intentionally and willfully put on, you know. So, you know, Paul would throw up those hand signs. But if you mad at me and I never did you anything, or you falsely accused me of being a perp, but he had video footage of himself getting arrested and put in handcuffs after being attacked by an actual perp. And then he did a follow-up video later on making it like as if he forgives the guy and that he's not mad at him or whatever. But you're bitter and mad at me, or you don't like me and I never even did you anything. Never tried to hurt you. So, and then that was like with Darius when he got hit by a car. And then the next day he was in the hospital bed doing a video saying that he forgive the gang stalkers or forgive the people who try to murder him. But he tell me that, you know, you ought to consider me a rarity of a friend. You ought to consider me a rarity of a friend. Because most people aren't so forgiving. You're lucky I forgave you. You're lucky I forgave you. What was there to forgive when you did me wrong? And then pretended to be innocent. And you join forces with the perps that's trying to sex traffic me. How you go from, you know, saying that you laughed on the phone and said that that the perps and everybody hate me so much because I'm too real and too true. And then because me and you get into an argument, you switch your narrative and you lie and say that I'm a liar and a manipulator and that my mouth is reckless or that I'm reckless. I'm older than you. Much older than you. And you saying that like as if you acting like as if I'm a child who got out of line with you or disrespected you or something. I mean, you started first with the secret hate and betrayal. I didn't even know he was doing dirty shit behind my back. You know, you ought to owe me an apology. But, you know, It's like anybody that's part of that fake Black Hebrew Israelites cult, they lie and say that the Christians are perps. And then they bully Christians. The fake IDMR cult that I grew up in, they attack and hate Christians. I mean, dealing with the cult, I ended up turning atheist off and on, for many years. But I mean, there was a point in time I called myself it's strange because no matter what I believed in, even if I called myself being atheist, I always had this fear of going to hell. Or I would feel convicted if I committed a certain sin or did something wrong. So, even before I came to Christ, but I got no choice but to try to get closer to God now. Trying to. I'm not perfect, and I never profess to be perfect or goodly or better than anybody else. Ooh, they just jolted me with direct energy weapons right when I said that. I mean, pain that shoot from my heart and my chest all the way through the back of my right shoulder. And last night, in the middle of the night when I tried to doze off and fall asleep, it was about 12:30. I tried to close my eyes and go to sleep. And I ended up, they violently, it felt like an electric jolt, to shock or jolt me out of my sleep when I started to doze off and try to go to sleep. They would hit me with direct energy weapons with me trying to go to sleep. See, now they're making my nose itch. So they're making my nose itch, and then me being forced to scratch my nose so another so-called target look at my video and be like, oh, well, she's a perp because she's rubbing her nose. But throughout the day, they don't attack my nose with the directed energy weapons and make my nose itch. Only when I'm doing a video. But you know what? I think the gang stalkers are doing witchcraft on purpose to manipulate for even other targets to hate me. But I know that I need to practice to no longer care about people having a certain opinion about me, because you're judging me, but yet you're not only sinful, but you dabble into the dark arts. So the fake Darnell Williams perp came, to make a fake harassing account. And he falsely accused me of being a and I never called the Mexicans that B word. BEMMER. But he falsely accused me of being a Mexican wannabe or something like that. And And then he falsely accused me of being a devil worshiper. And he falsely accused me of satanic nasty stuff, you know. But he's like the sickest guy I ever heard of, you know. I mean, and it seems like he wants to cause me shock and trauma, you know, through internet pictures and false accusations. And as I said, you don't laugh at pedophilia. You're falsely accusing somebody of being a pedophile and then laughing about it. Mocking and making fun and laughing. And it's like whoever goes along with him, y'all sick in the head too. I mean, this perp's giving him thumbs up on those videos. And he probably got witchcraft spells and curses with those videos, attached to those videos. He made threats to make sure I don't live to see my 40th birthday. And he's becoming more aggressive with this internet attacks and bullying, you know, and the trolling. He's one of the main reasons why my other TikTok is gone. And that fake lady named Sam on TikTok, she's one of the popular fakes. I never saw any footage of herself being terrorized or in distress about being gang stalking. But all she would do is sit in her fucking car. And she would profess to think like she's a, you know, Christian. And then she would throwing up devil horns and 666 and other satanic hand signs while pretending to be Christian. And she blocked me. And I never did her anything, ever. I mean, at first she was supporting and, you know, commenting, you know, on my videos or whatever, but it seemed like she started to spew out and parrot what the popular fakes say. And I don't even know if she caved in and sold out because, I mean, she mentioned that she wanted to stop talking about gang stalking and focus more on stuff that's positive or whatever. But I really think she caved in. It's like, what did I do to you? Why you blocked me and I never did you anything? But y'all say y'all targeted and y'all don't even have discernment. You know, if I say that I was falsely accused and then you want to believe that I am guilty of what I have been falsely accused of. So, I mean, as I said, I've been sleep deprived and not been able to be well rested. Been in distress about the Social Security situation. And trying to gather documents. But I mean, I don't even like to talk to those people. It's nothing but demons that work at the Social Security office. On rare occasions would I get somebody that's nice. And then if I have to make repeat visits to the Social Security office, they set me up with the same evil person and won't allow me to switch to another worker. Like, it was a black lady at that Terrytown in Gretna, you know, Social Security office that had this I want to kill you type of hate, anger look. And like I very much deserve to be punished. And they kept on setting me up with that lady. And refused to get me another worker. If I have to call the police multiple times, it'd be the same officer. Or people call the police on me, it's always the same officers that come out. And they'd be abusive, narcissistic gang stalkers. And like, ooh, and see, they're making my nose itch all around here. And so, also, the mental health counselors or psychiatric doctors or therapists. If I have a therapist or somebody I'm not happy with, we don't just switch therapists like that. We can't just switch counselors like that. We can't allow you to just switch doctors like that. Why don't I have a right to not have an abusive person for a mental health therapist or case manager? We don't just switch case managers like that. We can't just be swapping around social workers like that. But like, how are you gonna be a fellow targeted individual though, and treat me like as if I'm very, very retarded and need a social worker? The fake Darnell Williams perp, he made false accusations and lied on me and say that I use witchcraft magic with words. I don't even know how to do that. I'm not initiated. I'm not skilled. And I don't have any interest in doing those things. But, now they're trying to make my stomach hurt. So, so it's like, I'm sitting here wondering, well, if you claim to be part of the TI community, I should no longer care what you think about me. If you do a video bragging about being a witch, or if you have a blasphemous artificial intelligence screenshot of yourself being depicted as Jesus Christ, or in place of Jesus Christ, or if you have a screenshot meme, like a Photoshop screenshot meme of as if Jesus Christ was throwing up the devil horns. You can't judge me if you do stuff like that. You can't judge me as a bad person and you do stuff like that. You say you're Christian and targeted? But they got so many, if they worship the devil in secret, but outwardly pretending to front like they're holy and Christian, and they be like religious narcissists with elitist mentality, thinking they're bigger, better, and higher than everybody else, and they feel like they have no sin, but they kick back and just point out everybody else's sins to cover up their own dirty deeds. And they have such an attitude of self-righteousness. But, and so many people think that they just, because I'm going through hard times, they automatically jump to conclusion and be like, that's because you haven't been praying, or that's because you haven't been reading the Bible. And they think they know, like trying to be a cerebral know-it-all narcissist. Now, it's like, They don't even have encouraging Christian. Y'all want me to be positive, but y'all always kicking me down and discouraging me. You know, and I mean, they think that they know what I do all day. So, and it's like they got the perps that falsely profess to be Christian or think that they know the Bible better than me. But you thumbs up and defend and agree with the sex traffickers. You tell me ignore my stalkers, but my twin sister the first person you run to, and you would make like you rather go out of your way to be more loyal to her after you betrayed me and then pretending that you still being gang stalked. So but narcissists pretending to care, their way of showing that towards me is to their way of showing that towards me is to you know, treat me like a retarded baby that lacks common sense. Babies aren't retarded, but I'm emphasizing that they treat me like as if I am a baby who is retarded and doesn't have any common, not a lick of common sense. Because the gang stalkers will falsely twist my words and lie on me and say that I think all babies are retarded, and I never said that. And I don't feel that way. I never felt like babies are retarded. But, you know, they treat me like a retarded person. And they treat me like as if I'm like, they infantilize me so heavy. You know, like very controlling. And I'm 39 years old and should not have to be bossed around, controlled, told off about myself or punished or put in my place by somebody that's young enough to be, that's still a minor. I'm at the age where I could be having like grandbabies running around. I probably could have had like a 2 or 3 year old grandchild right now. But I don't have any kids at all. I wish I did, but I don't have any kids. But they would make my life harder, or they would, you know, they would have called CPS, made a false accusation and called CPS on me a long time ago. But, you know, I got to deal with people who talk to me like with the mental health vocabulary, the mental health system vocabulary, and they talk to me and treat me like very, very elementary. And I've been told since before graduating college that they would narcissistically get in my face and tell me that my degree means nothing. But all the while, y'all pushing me to get a college degree, you know. And I'm disappointed that my life didn't turn out the way that I imagined or that I would have wanted to. But I didn't realize that you have, if I would have pursued whatever dreams or career, it's like the only people who are living the American dream for real is people who sell their soul to the devil. But at the same time, nobody really has it easy, because in order to do those things, or to get to have that success, you got to participate in satanic rituals or play that game. But yeah, I mean, they treat me like I'm really, really retarded. And they treat me like very elementary, like a baby, you know. And then they will narcissistically yell at me and say that a 2-year-old child has more common sense than me. Oh, he's 2 years old and he got more common sense than you do. Or he got more common sense than you. But the same people who call me negative are the same people who always talking down to me and belittling me and being condescending. And like, I can never be good enough, right enough, or perfect enough, or acceptable enough. But I mean, it's like all the people who say that, whether they say that they're Christian or not, if they be on TikTok, they show footage of themselves being targeted, but then they throw up satanic hand signs and they be associated with the witchcraft and all that, whether they say that they're Christian or not. Like, they got this man, all he does is sit behind a desk and talk about this program. And one time he said prayer is an energy. If you feel that way, no, you're trying to mix Christianity and New Age by saying that. Prayer is not energy. That's New Age talk. But they be the popular fakes up at the top. You spread disinformation about the Bible. You're telling everybody repent and get right with God, but at the same time, you're the one spreading witchcraft and, trying to cover up with New Age and be slick and subtle with it and think that people won't catch on and notice. But people gonna listen to you because you're popular and fake. But I'm tired of being made to feel like everything I do or say is wrong, or I'm always wrong. Like, not wrong as in incorrect, but wrong as in morally wrong. And I mean, if you claim to be a victim of narcissistic abuse, and then I hear about how people, even in the narcissistic victim community, will bully and gang up on other, or act like they don't believe other victims. And they got narcs who infiltrated the narcissistic victim community in the same way perps have infiltrated the TI community. But, they have some people who advise me that instead of fighting to defend my innocence or to strive very hard to get people to believe me, despite the evidence that I show, people say, well, just take it to God and pray about it. But they even be religious narcs who don't care about my soul, and they just all about self-righteousness and control, and they just want to look good. Or they want to point out everything I'm doing wrong, and they don't say that it's wrong what the gang stalkers are doing. If you say you're wrong for calling the gang stalkers names, stop calling them names. But I get called names all day. Do you step in and tell them, leave me alone? I don't have anybody to go to bat for or defend me. Or they discreetly and secretly ghost me and quit talking to me or quit supporting me and stuff. But if I try to reach out to support other people, I get either blocked or ignored. So that person that confronted me about her friend, well, she tried to talk that lingo like a Christian. And I tried to follow her. And I think she temporarily blocked me for a few seconds, or she blocked me and then unblocked me and refused to let me follow her. So it's a lot of stuff in the TI community that I can't learn because of me being blocked or ignored by or hated by so many people that's supposed to be in the TI community. I mean, I never knew until recently, or maybe I heard in 2019 or 2020 and forgot about it because they have so many people who unfollowed and blocked me, or if I had a feud with so many people that I can't even or don't even watch other people's targeted individual videos really anymore. So I forgot all about the idea of spitting being a gang stalking tactic or clearing your throat or coughing or whatever. But or if they have certain cues or whatever to signal the handler. Get the signal from the handler. I mean, I haven't even much noticed that in my gang stalking. But I forgot about that, and I heard stories about gang stalkers who touched their nose. But I don't even know exactly how they do it. But somebody said that they pointed out my twin sister as a perp and said that she was touching her nose like a perp. And she was perping wearing a red shirt too. And somebody had called her out on being a perp and, wearing a red shirt and touching her nose. But as I said, they start to make my nose itch, like different areas of my nose itch, while I'm doing a video. And it makes me frustrated because I'm like, dang, that's going to make other people falsely think I'm a perp too, and I'm not. I don't go to perp school, never been initiated, and don't go to the meetings. I'm not working with anybody. I'm not working with any government. I'm being victimized and targeted by the government, but I don't know any locations offhand. I don't know where any DHS fusion centers are. I mean, even near here, I don't know where they are, and I'm not going to write to the DHS, fusion centers begging them for help because they're the ones want to keep it going. They're not even trying to stop this. They're psychopaths. You can't get psychopaths to stop evil. But see, they're vibrating me right here. They're vibrating my chest and my heart right now. Dang, they're making my stomach hurt. So, even tonight, before, about 10 o'clock, I start to feel very tired. But, dang, I hate when people wait till I'm tired. Then they act like they want to start to message me. If I'm too tired or very, very busy with something to start a conversation. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go to bed, or I'm busy doing this. But when I'm not busy, or if I need somebody to talk to, nobody's around. But they got people that be falsely accusing me of being suspicious, of being a perp. And it's like, just say you don't like me, but don't make up lies to, just admit that you don't like me or that you're jealous. But you're sitting there making up lies, and spreading the hate. It'd be the popular fakes who, with the high following, they falsely smear campaign me as a perp. I got my evidence and footage, and everybody is ignoring. Nobody cares. Nobody paying attention. But y'all give all the glory to the sex traffickers. Y'all think that's funny. So The fake Darnell Williams perp, he lied on me and said I participate in bestiality and other sick stuff. And I forgot what else he falsely accused me of, and then thought the shit was funny. He falsely accused me of being in love with Raven. That's my doggone niece. Why would you say something like that? And, as I said, you don't laugh at, stuff like that, and you don't lie about stuff like that. And it's like my twin sister must have a witchcraft hold over everybody and making sure I get no support. But, let me see something. You see my Tourette's right here. Tourette's tick. Y'all either falsely accuse me of being a perp or demon possessed. And the fake TI perps falsely accuse, and the regular perps falsely accuse me of being a demon possessed perp. And it's like y'all act like y'all want to try to force me to be satanic so bad. Even the ones who want to bully me about the Bible and say I need to get right with God, y'all falsely point the finger and falsely accuse me of being a satanic. I mean, my relationship with God, as I said, y'all act like y'all don't believe me, or you're making like as if I'm not trying hard enough. You're making like you don't believe me, or like I'm not trying hard enough. I mean, so the fake Darnell Williams perp, he falsely accused me of being a demon-possessed lesbian, bisexual, witch, devil worshiper, and pedo, and greedy, crazy person, and all that. Like, and I mean, as I said, I wish. I mean, I'm wondering how can the police or anybody track him down. But I can't go to the police station because there will be abusive, narcissistic, fake police officers that's going to gaslight and discredit and trigger and provoke me for an excuse to justify throwing me in jail or prison. Oh, man. Oh, my stomach is hurting more and more as the seconds go by. It's not like the Charlie horse or cramps, or but it's like I don't even know if it's bloated gas or some kind of pain or something. But as the seconds go by, my stomach pain is increasing. So it is now Monday, August 7th, 2023 at 12:07 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, my facial movements like that, that's my Tourette's tics. And I've been like sleep deprived and have not been, like, today was the second day in a row I felt sleep deprived. Well, yesterday, felt sleep deprived and felt like I could not be well rested or think clearly. I tried, for at least 20 or 30 minutes to do some more writing on the letter to the Social Security people. So, I mean, as I said, criminalizing my existence and my survival. And so, the online gang stalkers, they kept on manipulating the thumbs up and thumbs down on my videos and manipulating my follower count. Or they would make sure that I get no thumbs up, on any of my videos. Or if people might make a supportive comment, but, you don't have to give a thumbs up if you don't want to, But they keep suppressing my videos. If people say like, share, comment, and subscribe, that pushes the algorithm out and gets your videos more circulated. But they have been, my twin sister started it to have everybody thumbs down all my videos. Like, she got a whole cult following of people thumbing down and stalking and trying to control all my videos. But if another so-called target is going through the same thing, they're documenting the same thing that I do, but you're not going to call them crazy and harass them, but you defend them because it's anybody that's against Candy. I mean, if you get more support than me, then it's more likely that you're a perp than me. Like, how am I being falsely accused of being a perp with, 140 views in a video, 19 thumbs down, and 0 thumbs up? That's not a cult following. I mean, I get a whole bunch of hate against me. I'm not even trying to seek that, but my twin sister had been using projection, But they think that she's more worthy and deserving and has more rights than I have. My twin sister she's the type that will throw me under the bus or sacrifice me in order to save her own skin, and don't care what I have to suffer through. But she had been lying to everybody for years, saying that I'm evil. I mean, we are about to be 40, and I can't even talk to her, or, I can't even talk to her, or not allowed to talk to her, or she would try to control what subjects I should talk about. But if she wanted to pretend to be fake nice, though, she would probably act like as if she against what the fake Darnell Williams perp is doing. But, she probably would thumbs up that too and laugh and think it's funny. I mean, that fake Darnell Williams perp is making Alex Dupree look like a saint. He's making Alex Dupree look like a saint. And I could tell that I promise you that I know that the fake Darnell Williams perp is younger than me. Because he even sounds like he's younger than me. He acts and sounds like somebody he talked like somebody that's still in his 20s. And then, and I can't believe about people who would be 75 years old trolling and harassing people online. You're 75 years old and married, but you're worried about obsessed with stalking a stranger. My stomach hurts. But I'm saying it's like a different kind of stomach pain. So, I mean, I've been heavily stressed out, have not been able to get any rest, any real rest or relaxation or to clear my mind. It's like constant chaos or just one problem after problem after problem. Excuse me, I can't even get a break. I mean, this was like one of the most depressing summers that I've ever had, that I ever lived through. It's summer, and being locked in the house almost all day, every day, not every day, but almost every day, locked in the house because I can't even just hop on a bus and go grocery shopping just like that, or I can't even go swimming, like have somewhere to go swimming. Really no transportation like that. And now another agony is dealing with fucking fleas. Yeah, like the religious narcissists, they be so nitpicky with criticizing you about what their perception of your sins is. They tell me don't curse, but then when I look up, they curse. You know, they call me fat and greedy, but they tell me stop calling people names. If I say you're a gang stalker, if I be like perp, and then they say stop calling people names. Like they're self-righteous and nitpicky and overly critical, you know, and self-righteous and just pointing the finger. But I mean, it's very hard trying to stay on top of trying to stay on top of my responsibilities, trying to do the right thing, and just feeling like that type of depression where you can't even get out of bed, kind of depressed, or don't want to leave the house, kind of depressed, and feeling anxiety around people and animals. And it's so scary that if they heavily want me to be dead, people don't value my life. You know, it's like I hardly get really any comments, likes, or support. And if it's like rare for me to get supportive comments. But, you know, as I said, if y'all so heavy to be self-righteous or avoid me because y'all think I'm a bad person, but behind closed doors, y'all dabble into the occult and new age and witchcraft and all that. See, they're making my eye itch right here. I had a shower a few hours ago. Yeah, I think that's the most disturbing and traumatizing thing I ever heard. That's making me be afraid of animals now and afraid of stray animals. Traumatized and afraid. You know, if y'all defending and agreeing with Satanists while pretending that you know the Bible better than I do, or that pretending you can be a better Christian than me. But then you say that most people want to see me dead, or that you can't wait for me to be put down like a rabid dog and then be put out of my own misery. And then people say they say ignore them and don't worry about stuff like that. But look what all the things they have done to destroy me. And then they'll say, well, God won't allow the enemy to harm or touch you. Or, if they harm you, then, that's sin in your life that you're committing, and God has removed his hand from protecting you. Or God has turned you over to a reprobate mind. How you gonna think that you speak on God's authority or on God's behalf? You know, whatever happened to y'all saying that I'm full of light, that my eyes are full of light, you know, and now all of a sudden, because y'all mad at me, y'all falsely spread the lies, lying and saying that my eyes turn black, or that I be looking demon possessed in my videos. You know what I mean? Y'all just trying to excuse me, trying to tear away my Christian hope, trying to make me feel spiritually doomed and hopeless by trying to falsely compare me to a demon. And they make it like as if God, because they are mad and feel like they have given up, they will equate that with saying that God has given up on me and that I'm just a lost cause, that I'm irredeemable. Or they would try to discourage me and kick me down even harder and tell me that my prayers are useless, or it's pointless for me to read the Bible, or you're already doomed to hell. And you say you're Christian, but then you defend and agree with people doing wickedness against me. You condone and endorse and high five that. If so many people will say, I'll be praying for you, they say it in a way like as if they're telling me off about myself and wish the worst. I don't even have, now it looks like I have 1,300 subscribers now. And it took a long time for me to get there, organically and naturally. But as I said, like probably over 1,000 of those accounts are fake throwaway accounts from the perps actually harassing me. But I only have about 5 people who would give me any supportive comments. Some of them drop in, once every 4 or 5 months. And I'll be forgetting, forget about them until, it's like they disappeared long enough to make me forget. And then they come back and I'll be relieved, like, oh, okay, so you didn't turn against or betray me. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're still here with me, But, It's lonesome and scary and traumatizing to be forced to go through all this torture and brutality alone and as a female. I mean, if you're a man and you expect me as a single disabled woman to go through this by myself, and you narcissistically want to keep me isolated, or force me to isolate myself, or make it like as if I'm committing idolatry or putting too much faith in man, if I would have tried to link up with other targets to give and receive support. But, if I try to reach out, they push away my support by blocking or ignoring me. Excuse me, y'all. Seems like the mucus is trying to get thicker and stronger. And me having my earbuds in, trying to block out the outside noise, I think that I find myself not realizing how loud I'm talking, and I find myself straining my vocal cords. But yeah, I did not realize, well, I probably forgot, or I didn't realize that that paperwork that they wanted, they try to say it was due July 31st. They might be like, well, that was plenty of time. Well, look what the abuse y'all did to me, and that traumatized me and put me in a state of depression. A state to the point of being depressed, to be psychologically, mentally, and emotionally paralyzed and crippled. I mean, the level of unfathomable abuse from the Social Security Administration, the Section 8 office, the Food Stamp office, the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, the heavy, strong, narcissistic abuse that y'all do to people. Y'all ruining people's mental health. People that they just downright fucking nasty and cruel and sadistic and want to make you suffer. Excuse me. Dang, it's like I feel like as if I had to buy up a lot of more paper towels and stuff because of the leak. But I ordered me some more soap and I got things that I needed, But I treated myself to a little something as an early birthday gift from myself to myself, because ain't nobody else gonna ain't nobody else gonna do much anything. I got gang stalked really heavy and almost got killed and lost my freaking phone on my own birthday. Couldn't even intermingle with my own twin sister. Like, we couldn't even mesh together, or But my twin sister has so many enablers for her abuse, which is her flying monkeys. And I can't believe the level of cold-heartedness and cruelty. Now we're in the same state. You know, I didn't even want to come back. I said I never wanted to set foot in or never wanted to live in Texas. I hate everything about Texas. But now everybody's saying stay out of Florida. Well, they forced me through their abuse to end up hating Pensacola, but I felt like Florida was one of my favorite states, you know. I like the southern East Coast from Louisiana to Florida, but people say that to stay away from Mississippi because of the level of the KKK and racism still being so heavy over there. But they still got racism here. Excuse me. And like the Social Security lady over the phone, I figured that, you know, the way she treated me over the phone was racially motivated. That she treated me the way she treated me because she knew I was black. I mean, I felt the racial tension from her over the phone. And that bus driver from this past Monday, that transportation driver, I feel like he did me what he did to me because I'm black, and probably because he feel like he could be extra abusive because I'm female also. I mean, the fact that, oh, you'll protect your Mexican people or the white people, and if they have too many bags of groceries, you let them break the rules. But you're attacking me because I'm black. The perp from down the street that threatened me and called the police on me and called me crazy back in April, what he did was racially motivated because I'm black. But if I was the same race as him, he wouldn't have treated me like that. But the online gang stalkers are falsely smear campaigning me as racist. Like, how the hell am I going to be racist against every race? If I describe, you know, that Filipino lady, y'all quick to holler, oh, Candy's racist, when I'm saying Filipino for description. Or if I say that Lebanese person, oh, she prejudiced the Middle Eastern people. Like, but y'all use that to further justify y'all fake vigilante hate against me. Because somebody recently told me on this past Monday, he was able to see the racism from that bus driver and say, be careful. The person on TikTok told me, be careful because, you know, a lot of people a lot of the gang stalkers be covert racists. But they lie and say that targeted individuals. Another one of the big smear campaigners to lie and say that the target is racist. If I say something about my own race of people, they try to make it like as if I'm a self-hating black that's racist against my own people or prejudiced against my own people. But then if I say something about, if I describe a perp and be like, well, this white female perp in a red shirt did this to me. Oh, she's racist. But I can say the same thing about a black person or a Vietnamese person or a person from Thailand or anywhere else. I'm just describing giving a description of the person, because when you describe people, a lot of times that brings validity to the story that you're telling. Excuse me. Excuse me. But when I was in Los Angeles, I faced racism from white people, Korean people, Filipino people, my own black people, because if they be sellouts, I mean prejudice, if I had to deal with racism from Filipinos, white people, Korean people, people from Mexico and El Salvador and Honduras, like all when I was in Los Angeles. I mean, I had been traumatized by that heavy racism. And I would get attacked by questioning how come the city of Los Angeles is segregated by color, by skin color and race. That they have all the light-skinned blacks living in the richer, more affluent areas in Inglewood. But they have the darker complected blacks mixed up with the Mexicans and Salvadorians in South Central LA, in the very poor areas in the hood. Like in my area where I was living at, there were really no light-skinned people. I was kind of like the closest to any, I'm not even light-skinned, but I was like the closest to any light-skin that you could doggone get. In South Central LA when I was living there. But yeah, I experienced a lot of nastiness, racism, and hostility and abuse from people that's Korean, Filipino, Mexican, El Salvadorian, and in New Orleans, the Vietnamese people don't like me. Excuse me. The Vietnamese people never liked me. Always avoided me and treated me mean. And the people that were Dominican, they used to bully, harass, and laugh at me. Pick on me. A few people from Honduras, but when I went to high school, junior high and high school, of all the Hispanics, people from Honduras used to treat me with the most respect. But I used to wish I could like intermingle or with the Hispanic clique and improve my Spanish, But, I mean, I used to love all Hispanics, when I was younger. But it was in Denton, Texas, when I had my first taste of, living amongst Mexicans who would be racist against me or prejudiced against me. And then in Los Angeles, it was even worse. And then me being traumatized by their noise campaigns and the things that they do. It seems like they were prejudiced and hated me and did certain things. And then, over time, it seemed like as if it started to be like reverse hatred towards them because of, being traumatized and also tired of the way that they were treating me. And then I didn't even realize that due to this gang stalking and everything, I ended up losing interest in a Spanish career. And then, the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in New York used to avoid me. They didn't like me either. And it's like, well, I got a freaking Spanish degree for nothing. I was heavily and highly interested, in Spanish language, culture, or whatever. But now I really hate the loud music. Everything loud. Loud cars, loud music, loud trucks, and everything loud because of narcissism and narcissistic abuse in their culture. And so now I realize that I'm hated by every race and color. It seems like Asians especially don't like me at all or stay away from me. But, I still be trying to be respectful, like, that's absurd that y'all falsely accused me of being racist against Mexicans when I went to Mexico in 2015, New Year's Eve. And they loved me. And I felt some comfort because once I got to Mexico, they loved me and didn't want me to leave. And I'm like, well, but I heard that, they sell their soul once they get to, like, anybody that's foreign, not everybody, but a lot of people that's foreign, if they come to America and can run a successful business because they're Masonic and sold their soul. And I heard that even African people, even African people think they don't like me. So African people, I heard there was a black man in Los Angeles at the Greyhound station one time. He was telling me that even the African people are indoctrinated and brainwashed on how to hate and treat us Americans. Or that, other foreign people, that they're brainwashed to look down on us Americans, especially us black Americans. But like in the mental hospital, the Africans and the Caribbeans be the most obnoxious perps, especially with being like so loud with everything. And they be instigating and being messy, But not every Caribbean or African. I'm not saying that. But like I'm saying, like when I was in the mental hospital, these were my experiences, But if they had like African Christians or Mexican Christians, if they welcome me and be if they welcome me and be supportive, and if they if we can all fellowship together or whatever, But it's like I have been dealing with such hate. Even my own black people in New Orleans, especially the light-skinned pretty Creoles with the straight hair and features like white people, they got the most hostility towards me. Or ignore or hate me, or they're just short-fused and abusive and narcissistic. And hate me enough that they would fight to kill. But, I was young and brainwashed and indoctrinated. So now I try to respect, all races of people. But I'm sitting here getting so much hate and prejudice. You want to know how much racism I dealt with since being here? Even other black people were saying, you know, they don't want us black people working here. Or they don't want us black people here. And I mean, I said in one of my other videos that the black people in Los Angeles used to tell me, stay away from those Mexicans. Or they would make it like as if, oh, you deserve to get hurt for kissing their ass because the Mexicans are prejudiced against us, so stay away from them. Or if a Mexican does something oppressive, and then the black person would say that I get what I deserve. But yeah, my Spanish bachelor's degree, I ended up getting that degree in vain for nothing. And I'm in this high financial debt for nothing. And now they're talking about making me pay back student loans again. I don't even have the income to pay back student loans, and they're suppressing me from getting any job. But, you know, as I said, you know, the online gang stalkers made the false smear campaign and lied on me and say that I am prejudiced of Mexicans strictly because of their color of their skin, when they have varying shades of skin like black people do. So, you know, all that Mexican food I eat, or if I try to attend Mexican events, or you know, try to be supportive, but they push me away. You know, but they want to make the false smear campaign that I'm prejudiced of this and that or whatever. Or, oh, you're just jealous because you secretly want to be Mexican. And that's not even that either. I'm happy to be black now. Back then, I used to wish I was light-skinned, or I used to wish that I was a different race. Or if I used to wish I was Puerto Rican or something like that. You know, but as I said, I was indoctrinated and brainwashed. But after learning the truth, I realized no color or race of people is better than any other. And, you know, it took for me to learn the truth about this New World Order conspiracies for me to accept being black. I came a long way throughout the years to accept this, you know, my actual skin color or hair texture or eye color or whatever, you know. But even growing up, if the fake foster family would punch me for starting a conversation at the grocery store with a white friend, you know, if there was a white friend that I went to school with, or a white classmate, and I would get brutally abused for saying hello to the kid. That's what I mean, if they make remarks about white people, and yet they're the foster family, they make remarks about white people, but they would be light-skinned. Or they will punish me really harsh for talking to a white or Hispanic person, or anybody that's foreign. They didn't want me to be social. Or even if I try to talk to another black person, they got something to say about that too. They even have black people that's very dark skinned and think that they're better than me and oppressive, abusive, and narcissistic. But, you know, I heard that the gang stalking network try to make things about racism or about race in a way to keep targets divided. But like, say, if you talk about an illegal immigrant, it could be somebody from any country that come here illegally and break rules, laws, and traffic and torture people, and then we gotta suffer. But I mean, I had an abusive, oppressive, narcissistic Mexican college professor at University of North Texas. It was a couple of them. The foster mom wouldn't let me go. She almost didn't let me go to Costa Rica, and I went on my own. I was determined to go to Costa Rica and got treated with prejudice. The only people in Costa Rica that accepted me was, they said the Caribbean Costa Ricans. The Caribbean side was the side where the black people were, where the Afro Costa Ricans. They're the only ones that embraced and accepted me. But the Costa Ricans that looked more mestizo, they were prejudiced and avoided me and treated me mean. Even the host mom in Costa Rica and her son, they didn't like me, and they were abusive, narcissistic perps. The host mom, me thinking back from 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, that host mom was a perp. Yeah, Maria Elvis Villalobos Arredondo. I think that was her name. Maria Elvis Villalobos Arredondo. Yeah, she was a gang stalker. Her and her son Mariano Villalobos, they were gang stalkers. They put me with the gang stalking host family. That's no wonder why they treated me the way they, and make false accusations on purpose and make up lies on purpose to try to, and it seemed like everybody on that trip except me, everybody on that trip was a perp. I only had one friend, and her name was Nadine, that Sri Lankan person, and they even turned Nadine against me. So they even try to get Nadine to think a certain way about me. They try to put a wedge between me and Nadine. So yeah, but anyway, it seems like as if there's gonna be a 40th birthday to be very punishing, because no transportation to take advantage of birthday freebies, and if there was transportation, I would have to put up with bus drivers being abusive and treat me a certain way, or restaurant people being abusive and treat me a certain way. So the only experience, for me to be here August 25th, to be here all day and just locked up in here all day and be nearly broke. So I have to pay I have under $100 left, and I have to pay for that bill, that hospital bill. I thought that Medicare and Medicaid would take care of it. Maybe I could still see if they would take care of it. But if not, I would have to pay that bill. And then after that, I don't know how much paperwork, documentation that I would have to print out at the library for the Social Security people. But since they already got access to my bank account, so why they making me waste money on paper? They're making me waste money to spend money on paper printouts to turn in these documentations when you already have it. You know, and if I didn't know about that, I had to turn in the stocks. But, you know, you treated me like I stole something or treated me like a thief. When, as I said, I didn't even know, you know. And then the online perps, they're talking about you about to go to prison. When it's not even their business. But they're like, yeah, you're about to go to prison. Like, they'll be glad to get, for me to, yeah, they love to say that they will not rest until they succeed at getting me locked away and put in prison for once and for all. Or for me to be put down like a rabid dog and be put out of my own misery. You know, they're trying to falsely paint me as a dishonest, scamming criminal when I didn't even know, you know, that I had to report stocks. Now, I mean, I already said that, you know, and I thought I had one, but I forgot that I had 2 stocks. It's not one. I had to go back and look because it had been a while, you know. And then with the online donations, I wasn't sure what to believe. But I was turning in my work stubs, and they tried to say that they didn't have that. And I'm like, well, I don't have a way to get back to my back to Pensacola. I mean, I already turned in all the documentation for the paperwork for the all of what I worked for. But the online donations, you know, I didn't even know. I had mixed information or wasn't even sure of whether. And then they had that thing going on, and they had everything shut down. So, and then dealing with abusive, tyrant, narcissistic Social Security people, it made me afraid to even try to contact or talk to them. But I was sending in paperwork, you know, in that slot in the office. You can't deal with the Social Security workers or the security guards or none of them because they be trying to set me up. Over the phone or in person. They're worse in person, but they are tyrants and devils over the phone too. So let me see what it is now 12:56 a.m. in the morning. Well, thanks for listening to me. My storage space is eating up. So I'll see y'all later. I do not feel like doing laundry.